Good morning. Good morning. We are live and alive. And let's stand up as a demonstration of that and sing out together our opening song, I'm Choosing Heaven Today.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today. Joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of joy right now. Singing, I'm choosing joy today. How about abundance? I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of abundance right now. I'm choosing abundance today. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now. Singing, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing heaven. Choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. Singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. Singing, I'm choosing heaven today.
Oh, please have a seat. Be comfortable. I'm so glad that you are here and that you have chose to spend your morning with us. My name is Karen Williams. I am a spiritual practitioner here at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living. Our online host today is Eric. So for those of you on Facebook, in the chat, if you could just make yourself known and you can create your own community in there and let Eric know how things are going for you, and we can kind of create that community bond here. We have, at this point in our service, typically read our mission and vision statement, but we are in our prosperity moment, and so we're going to be reading our prosperity proclamation together. Here it is. I'm looking for it. I'm going to stand over here and read it. Let's do this together. As a community, we are boldly stepping into a season of abundance where we are invited to practice being in the flow, leveling up our experience of prosperity. We engage in this flow by making a pledge to share our wealth with our Genesis community. Thank you. Oh,
wait, there's more.
Thank you. Any direction. When we make a pledge, we're choosing to tap into the flow of divine goodness. Our pledge is the flood tide of abundance that lifts Genesis to new heights. Please proclaim with me the following vision. We come together to create a rising tide that lifts us all. I should have practiced that. This is a lovely card that you will find on your seat that visually demonstrates that and talks more about our pledge drive. I think it is a lovely image and a lovely idea of a rising tide lifts all boats. For announcements today, as a reminder, we have name tags in the back. Next Sunday, November 9th, after service, join us for a mandala gong sound bath with Stephanie Wood from 11:45 to 1:30 p.m. here in Studio 620. This relaxing sound meditation will feature gongs and other instruments to help you unwind and renew your energy. Wear comfortable clothing and bring something warm. Yoga mats are optional and probably recommended in this space for your comfort. Chairs will also be provided. A love offering is appreciated at this event, and proceeds support our ministry's vision during this season of commitment. Today, at 1 p.m., you are all invited to an icebreaker brunch with Northern Lights CSL. They are our neighbors in Burien, and we are gathering at Classic Eats. Cynthia has a sign-up sheet over here just so that we know how many people are going to be attending. So please put your name there because we want to continue the conversation and we want to know who was there and what you got out of it and just kind of follow up with you if that would be okay. Northern Lights also, oh, I better not go out of order. What's next? Yeah, visioning, thank you. Don't go out of order, Karen. I like to take it upon myself to be creative. Sometimes in some spaces that doesn't work very well. Coming this winter to Genesis Center for Spiritual Living is Visioning a Way of Life. Join licensed practitioners Randy Singer, who is here today, and Christine S. Young for a 6-week journey into the spiritual practice of visioning. It's an inspiring process that helps you discover clarity, purpose, and a deeper connection with spirit. Classes meet on Monday evenings, January 13th through... Classes meet on Tuesday evenings, January 13th, okay, through February 17 from 7 to 10 p.m. on Zoom. You'll learn practical tools to live from your highest vision and create a life that truly reflects your spiritual nature. Tuition for this class is $220 with an early registration discount down to $190 if you sign up by January 4. To ensure the class runs, please register by January 11 and visit genesiscsl.org to register. Our neighbors, Northern Light, as previously mentioned, they are inviting Genesis to help provide Thanksgiving meals for 6 families in need. With SNAP cuts and less nonprofit funding, our communities need each other more than ever to ensure no one goes hungry. Even $3 or $5 help. So donate by November 23rd via check, and that would be to NLCSL, that's Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living, NLCSL. And they have their address if you need that. It is also at the welcome table. They accept Venmo and Cash App, or we can give cash to Gideon. And they want to thank you in advance. Our community wants to thank you in advance, I believe, for donating to this. As mentioned before, this is our pledge card, and it is on your seat with your prayer card today. If you haven't filled it out yet, and you feel called to, today could be your day. Your pledge is a powerful tide of abundance that carries Genesis to greater heights, and we appreciate you. Join us the first Thursday of every month. That is this Thursday on Zoom for LOVE, Love Visioning. Visioning, again, opens us to divine guidance beyond our limited thinking. And by practicing visioning, we align with higher wisdom, clarity, and purpose, creating a life of community and community guided by inspiration and love. For any questions, you can talk with Dave. Cynthia's here. She can answer your questions as well. They facilitate that together. And it is really specifically for Genesis, yes? Yeah, visioning specifically for Genesis as opposed to the class that we're offering in January, which is really personal. We are having our book study after service today, and if you don't have a book, that's not a problem because we share. Lastly, we have 5 Brown Bear Car Wash tickets left at the welcome table. Pick one set up for $12 and redeem it at any Brown Bear location and support our center at the same time. That was a long sheet of November. I'm at the point where we want to recognize our first-time guests because we would love to connect with you. We know everyone prefers a different method of communication, so you can fill out a connection card, which you will find right by the front door, and drop it in the offering basket later in the service, or scan the QR code that is on said card. This will open up a personal line of communication. We want to provide you important information to give you everything you need to learn about Genesis and what we do here. If you have any questions, please stop by the welcome table. They would love to chat with you and give a free gift. For those of you online, same. Go to the website, genesiscsl.org, and you will find all that welcome information there and how to connect with us and how we connect with you. Now that we've welcomed our guests, let's welcome and greet one another. If you aren't comfortable hugging, just stick out your hand and we'll shake it instead. Namaste hands are a great choice for contactless greeting. You may stay seated if you prefer not to mingle. Let's stand up and mingle and greet.
Thank you.
I'd like to take this time to thank everyone that is in service today. That begins with our setup in the morning, and generally speaking, that are those individuals who put out the chairs and set up all the music. Mike does the altar, the welcome table, the coffee. Everything is done by volunteers here. That would be Cynthia and Gideon and Mike and Eric and Jim. I think Lori might have been here this morning for a little bit of setup, yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for setting this up this morning. We also have to take it down, so we also do that together. We kind of, at this point, have found this kind of seamless rhythm that we just do what we do and make it great. So thank you. Our morning greeter is Christy this morning. On projector and video is Mike and Eric. Our sound tech is Jim. Our online host, as I said, is Eric. Our offering collection will be done by Gideon. We have a vigil practitioner who is not on site, but she's at home. That's Reverend Rose, and she kind of holds the service and Genesis as a whole in prayer support while we are meeting together. Our musicians today is the beloved Becca Palm. So glad to have you here again. We love you here. And then our care circles provide food for fellowship after service, and today's provider is our care circle, God in Form. If you'd like to know more about care circles, I'd be your girl. Just ask me. I'll tell you all about it. So we have this moment. I'm kind of deciding how far I want to get into this, but we have a member testimonial moment here. If any of you ever want to speak to how Centers for Spiritual Living, or Genesis in particular, has helped you in your life, how you've grown through being involved in Centers for Spiritual Living, this would be your moment. For myself, I started this journey with my children. I already had a spiritual path, but I wanted my children to be involved in something. So when I started church back in the late 80s, down in Southern California, it was really for my kids. And all of the teachings were kind of a side benefit for me. They kind of enhanced what I was already doing. And it ended up that science of mind, religious science at the time, became a frame for the mosaic of all the work that I had already been doing. So all the experiences I had already had were kind of explained and codified by the teachings of religious science. So I kind of saw it as a picture. So all of my spiritual development was this mosaic picture, and religious science was the frame that kind of held it all together. I still feel that way, and have been in this teaching since that time. Clearly, I'm been a practitioner since 2005, and my life is truly blessed and transformed by the work that I have done here in the Centers for Spiritual Living. So I hope that it has the same kind of impact or effect on you. And one way I can be of service to kind of help you monitor where you're at in that process is by seeing me as a practitioner. I can do that for you today, just a really brief little prayer introduction here after service, but I certainly offer all kinds of spiritual support and guidance. I have a business card up on the welcome table if you're interested as well. So that's kind of my testimonial. If you are interested in sharing your own, please let somebody at the welcome table know, and we will plug you in. This next part of our service is really where we prepare ourselves for the message. And we do this in several ways, with a contemplative song, and then with Becca, and then I will have a reading, and followed by a prayer and another song with Becca before we move in to our message with Reverend James. So let's start that process together by singing Breathe and Turn Within. Let's breathe together. My reading today is from The Magic of the Soul. This is the textbook for the class that I've been facilitating these past 5 weeks, and it has been a powerful class. The soul and the realm of spirit do not view tragedy as negative. This may seem impossible to understand, but the recognition at the soul level is that every, yes, every experience leads to growth and evolution. We don't always have the capacity to see the large enough picture to understand the purpose of the tragedies, but our soul does. If such violent tragedy has the capacity to exist, it must continue to manifest so that the evolution can occur that will preclude the possibility for such violent tragedy to exist. But with each experience of tragedy, we must choose the path that leads to the necessary evolution. If we don't, similar tragedies will continue to occur until the appropriate choice is made. This is true both on an individual level and on a national or international level. Hug yourself often and ask others for hugs. When you cannot see a silver lining in the dark clouds surrounding you, allow yourself to go into the darkness. Don't resist it. Look for the magic in the darkness. Affirm that a light still protects you in your dark place. Surrender to a power greater than you can see, a power greater than you that can see the light. View your problems from the perspective of Source, in addition to honoring the dark place from which your healing will arise. No matter how great our pain is or how dark our path becomes, from clouds blocking the sun's rays, the sun never leaves. The sun is still sending its nurturing, life-giving sustenance. As a symbol of our soul, it sees us through the clouds. It is with us every moment. Let's pray. Knowing that there's only one thing happening. There's only one life. One life. And that life is creativity and power unfolding all the time, without exception, everywhere. In every moment, in every circumstance, in every situation. The life that is love is present for each of us. It is the flame at the center of every being. All beings everywhere are sourced with infinite and eternal life. and tragedy and darkness have no effect on this light that lives at the center of our being. And so I affirm for myself and for each person here, and truly for all beings everywhere, that this unfolding of life is a demonstration of the wholeness, the wholeness that is life, that is love. I see this, I recognize this, demonstrating today as Genesis Center for Spiritual Living. I see this demonstrating as each individual here, that there is a depth of beauty and joy and a deep, deep well of well-being that is present right here and right now and always, in all ways. I celebrate these things. I celebrate being here with you this morning. I give thanks for all of this. I give thanks for Reverend James and his willingness to guide and direct Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, for those who give of their time and their talents and their treasures, that we might join here together and support each other in this process of unfolding, in this process of evolution, in this process of recognizing the sun shines in spite of the clouds, in spite of the darkness. We are sourced by eternal light. I give thanks for this and all the calls that Spirit makes. Sometimes we answer and sometimes we don't. And it is all good. And so I know that the continuation of this service is the continuation of the power of this word. And so it is. Please welcome Becca Palm.
So these lyrics are something that we as the one could possibly say to someone else, or maybe we could hear them from the one. You can decide which one feels right for you. The only thing that I can say is that I love you, that you're beautiful and strong, and I know you'll make it through whatever's there. I care if all I've been and done hasn't said it loud enough. I love you. And as I speak the truth about the things I'm feeling, of what you do and what you say, when you push me away, it isn't blame or shame. It's layers of more love for you and love for me. You don't have to be afraid anymore. Can you see me as the one who's always there for you? I will not go away, my love. And as we shine a light into our darkest corners of all we are, we'll find the lies that bring tears to our eyes. Let's you and me be free. In all we think and do is true and says I love you. Yes, all we are and see is free and says I love me. Yes, I love
Thank you, Becca. Extraordinary as usual. Today, we're going to talk about attachments and aversions. We are, I'll start with a reading, and this reading is from Manesha Melwani. Attachments come in pairs of opposites, likes and dislikes. A liking for something comes along with a dislike for the opposite. Dependency is the problem. This dashing towards what we like and recoiling from what we dislike is how we find happiness in the world. Or do we? It's how we search for happiness in the world. It's our all-consuming preoccupation. You may be wondering, why do I care about likes and dislikes? If they make us happy, what is wrong with having them? But the challenge isn't simply the likes and dislikes, it's the dependency. If our happiness depends on having things a certain way, then it takes a lot of control. We don't always have our peace. And if our happiness depends on things not being another way, then that agitates us. So today we're going to talk about likes and dislikes, attachments and aversions, and different methods we have of working through them. I'll talk about math. Some people have an aversion to math, and one way we figured out to fix that. Also in bodies, some of us have problems. Sometimes our bodies get ill, our bodies aren't perfect, and I'm going to introduce a body scanning method that has been sort of time tested to help with the body. Not necessarily cure things, but sometimes. And most importantly, we're going to look at Pamela Grout, who wrote the book Thank and Grow Rich. And she has a program which will launch us into gratitude consciousness, into living in a more wonderful world by appreciating what we have around us. So I want to start off, we started off with, that quote was from Manesha Melwani, who wrote Detaching from Likes and Dislikes for Your Spiritual Growth. She also wrote a bunch of other books. If you like that, she's worth finding. Ernest Holmes says, we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And our Declaration of Principles says the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome from the infinite self-knowingness of God. The manifest universe is the body of God. So that makes it seem like it ought to be wonderful. We're all already looking at, Godness around us. We believe in the individualization of spirit within us and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. So, but we have likes and dislikes. We can't make them go away by pretending. And who knows, there may be a way that we can enjoy having likes and dislikes. We don't need to, as long as we're not obsessed with having the likes. I was recently at a high school reunion, and one of the things that I had a like during my senior year. I had a crush on this young lady who was dating my best friend. And for some reason, that didn't stop me from having a crush, even though, in retrospect, there were a bunch of other young ladies who were not dating my best friend. But I was obsessed with this, and I think I would have had a more enjoyable senior year had I paid attention to, is this thing I like really the best thing for everybody involved? Another thing, inherent personal dislike against inherent unlikability. So our second grade grandson, Quentin, told us he hated math. I hate math. And we're like, why do you hate math so much? Because I had him do math games, and sometimes he likes them. He says, well, I hate second grade math. I'd like first grade math. We're like, first grade math, but you're in second grade. But we sort of ran with it, and we found Khan Academy gives math programs. It teaches all kinds of things online. So we fired up an antique laptop and got Khan Academy on it, and we started him on the first grade math. And it turned out part of the reason he doesn't like second grade math is because he's not really solid on all the things he would theoretically learned in first grade math. But it's a lot easier for him. And it also has little jumps of joy. So every time he does a lesson, when he gets it right, it goes, doo-doo-doo-doo, and I give him a high five. Whoop. And after he does 7 correct in a row, it goes, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and it shoots down confetti. Confetti comes down. And whenever the confetti comes down, we jump up and dance and say, confetti, confetti. And suddenly math is the most fun thing. He used to come over and he's like, I just want to sleep more. I didn't get enough sleep. But if we're like, why not do the math? He's like, okay. And the confetti and the little doo-doo-doo and the high-fiving and the dancing wake him up, and he's so excited about the math. And it turns out that becoming a master of first grade math is really sort of a prerequisite to being able to enjoy second grade math. And so he's doing better on his second grade math, but we are having dance parties in the morning with first grade math. So his idea that math is bad and that I don't like it wasn't really the truth of who he is. The truth of who he is, when we started investigating, we're like, oh, first grade math. Well, we can do first grade math. And so this is something we can do. If you find yourself with something you dislike, another example is bees. Our grandchildren are afraid of bees. And because they sting and they buzz around you. But we found, we got a bunch of mason bees. And mason bees don't sting. Like, some people say if you squeeze them and hold them to you, you'll get them to sting. And other people are like, I tried that, it doesn't work. Mason bees are the peacemaking bees. They have stingers, but they never use them. They're the Gandhi of bees. And so this is a way to teach people that they don't have to be afraid of bees, is to have mason bees. Sometimes if you dislike something, you'll want to respect and honor and study it instead of, switching immediately to unconditional love. But sometimes unconditional love is where you want to go. I find this with my body. Sometimes I have body sensations. I'll start with Myrtle Fillmore. Myrtle Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity, and she was diagnosed with tuberculosis in the 1880s, and she had to move away from Ohio because in Ohio where she lived, she found it too hard to breathe. Her tuberculosis was just making her suffer. So she moved to Abilene, Texas. And in Abilene, the air was dry, so she could breathe a lot better, and things worked better, but she had to stay away from where she grew up, Pageville, Ohio. Now, the good news was she met her husband, Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity there, and one day they went to a lecture by E.B. Weeks, and E.B. Weeks taught them, you are children of God, you will inherit no illness. You are a child of God. You will inherit no illness. And she said, yeah, tuberculosis, schmuberculosis. I'm going to do this. And what she did was every night before bedtime, after dark, she would meditate for 2 hours. And she had an advantage here. They hadn't invented TV yet. There's no YouTube, no Netflix. No radio. All they had was it was dark. And they had invented chairs. So she sat in her chair with her husband, and they would meditate. And what she'd do is she'd scan her body, and she would, every time she found some concern in her body, she would stop and feel it And at first she would apologize to it. She'd say, I'm sorry I had no faith in you. I'm sorry I believed that you could work against me. And then she'd say, I love you and I have faith in you. And she would do that until that part of the body felt better, and she'd just scan her whole body. And she did this every day for 2 hours for 2 years, and her tuberculosis went completely away. So, and then she ended up teaching affirmative prayer, and they founded a church and all this stuff. But it started with her doing a body scan. And I find myself, it's not necessarily the physical body. On Wednesday and Thursday, I woke up at 2 in the morning feeling anxiety, but I could locate the anxiety in my body. And I just said to the anxiety, I'm sorry I believe that I could be harmed. Because the truth of who we are, our true selves, live outside of time and space. Our bodies are physical protoplasmic beings, but our true selves is outside of time and space, so our true selves cannot be harmed, and so we can let go of that anxiety. We can question the anxiety. What are you worried about? Is this something I can fix now? And then just love it and let go of it. So I want us to try a scan now, either for anxiety or for body pains or tension. Yeah, let's just start this now. Let's first start with our hearts. So if you touch your hearts, it's easier to focus on them. So let's inhale into our hearts and exhale. And let's allow ourselves to feel appreciation. Appreciation for what's happening now, appreciation for a pet or a beloved family member or a friend, anything that brings that feeling of appreciation in your heart. So we feel that appreciation, and it expands and it fills our heart, and then it expands beyond our heart and it fills our bodies. And just allow yourself to lay back into that love, that ease, that appreciation. And notice how it enfolds you, how it interpenetrates you. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell where you and the appreciation, the love begins? And now let's just move to a part of our body that might feel tense or at unease, or we believe there's some issue with it. And we can just apologize to that. I'm sorry that I believed that you could be less than perfect. I'm sorry I believed I had no faith in you. And now I love you and I have faith in you. I love you and I have faith in you. And now let's check again. And we can either do that part of our body again, or we can move to a different part of our body. And say to it, I'm sorry I didn't believe in you. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you. I love you and I have faith in you. I love you and I have faith in you. And now we can just thank our body for participating and inhale again. Bring our awareness back into the rooms. So I often, when I do this mostly, this is a practice I do when I lay down to go to sleep, because that's when I've got nothing else to do anyway. Time, it's all about keeping track of time, efficiency. No, but you can do it whenever you like. When I'm ill, I will sometimes lay down and tackle whatever part of my body thinks it's ill. And yes, Myrtle Fillmore cured her tuberculosis with it, but she did it with 700 two-hour meditations. If nothing, what I find is that it helps relieve the anxiety from whatever is bothering me. It relieve the anxiety from my illness, relieves the beating me up about it. Buddha talks about, what happens when you get injured by being shot with an arrow. There's one injury that happens when the arrow penetrates your flesh, and then there's the other injury that happens when you say, why was I there? Why wasn't my armor better? Why didn't I duck out of the way? So we don't, when we get sick or when our bodies have problems, we want to avoid the second injury, the self-inflicted injury, and we want to be able to let our body focus on curing the other injuries. And I find myself, usually I get better faster, but even if I don't, at least I appreciate that my body's doing its work, and I'm not blaming myself for getting sick. I'm like, this is part of our common humanity. When we talk about self-compassion, one of the elements is common humanity. We inhabit these protoplasmic life forms. We're walking around in these bodies, and these bodies have certain characteristics. And even though God is perfect health, wholeness, and perfection, we are 100% protoplasmic bodies, and we can at least stop from doing ourselves additional injury. And this is, it's part of the aversion, attraction and aversion. We have an aversion to getting sick, but if we let go of that aversion, we can let our body do what it wants to do and heal itself. So Pamela Grout talks a lot about this. She wrote the book Thank and Grow Rich, which is a play on the words of Think and Grow Rich, written 90 years ago by Napoleon Hill. And Think and Grow Rich was a bestseller. He wrote it 10 years after Ernest Holmes wrote Science of Mind, so it's possible, or even, there are a lot of principles that are in Science of Mind that Napoleon Hill writes about, without even footnoting Ernest. But that's okay. Right, everybody, the message got spread more widely. A lot more people bought Think and Grow Rich than bought Science of Mind. And it's about using a positive mental attitude to make your life work better. Pamela Grout is like, what's most important is the feeling of gratitude. She says, gratitude's the gateway to abundance. She talks about choosing joy. So she points out, we think of joy as a reward for like everything going well. This is where the attachments come in and keeping away from the aversions. But she says joy is the cause of, it's a pathway to miracles. By finding a way to feel joy, by opening up joy in your life, you can see miracles more. There are studies that indicate that happy people can see 50% more of what's there than people who are feeling sort of mopey or unhappy or just normal. That the happiness expands your awareness of all the wonderful things in the world, and so you can see them. And it would expand if you have an aversion, like to math. By allowing yourself to feel joy, you can say, maybe there is something. Maybe first grade math works. We'll get confetti. So feeling good, some people think that it's selfish to feel good, but actually by feeling good, you are performing a service to humanity. We know how we have, our hearts have magnetic fields which go about 28 feet away from our body. Actually, with the Air Force can detect them at 100 feet, but we don't have those kind of instruments. If it's just you, it's sort of 20, 30 feet. And so your heart, if you feel joy, you're going to transmit that to people within your vicinity. And for people at home, I'd say the idea of joy, you can transmit joy and fill your house with joy yourself. So feelings magnetize our creation, and the universe always says yes. Pam's main message is the more thankful you are, the richer your life becomes. And your life becomes richer in love, in creativity, in relationships, money, and purpose. Because as you lean into happiness, you open up more possibilities for the world. So that's the issue, with likes and dislikes, is it reduces the number of possibilities in the world. Your likes reduces it, to this one thing that I want. So my senior year in high school, I had a crush on my best friend's girlfriend. Well, that limited my dating life. And, the aversions, having an aversion to math when you have math homework every day, that limited Quentin's options in life. Now he even enjoys second grade math, which he's much better at, because it turns out the first grade stuff, it builds. So let's say this together. I choose love even when I encounter something I don't like. I choose love even when I encounter something I don't like. And we can remember the body scan. Just think, when you lay down to go to sleep, that's going to be your cue to scan your body. If you feel any anxiety, if you feel any concerns, if you feel anything, or I just start going from my head to my toes, or my toes to my head. And it's automatic. It's especially helpful if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake. You're like, oh boy, I can scan my body now. Remember, if you're having a hard time learning something, figure out a way to make it fun. Figure out, what would be more enjoyable about it. Gratitude will tune you into the divine buzz, the field of infinite potential. And so remember our body scans. Remember appreciation and love, and how by bringing joy into your life, you're doing a service for the world and bringing more joy into the world. So we're up to the part of our service where we're going to fill out our prayer cards. They're little yellow cards. And let's see if I... Anyway, we all have little yellow cards on our desks. And for people at home, there's a website you can go to put in your prayer request. I encourage you to put in a demonstration first. And on one side of the card, it says prayer demonstration. And that demonstration is any time you've manifested something in the world by thinking about it first. Any kind of instance, like learning math by deciding I'm going to learn math and studying it, or getting a car by buying one. Any time you've demonstrated prosperity or abundance or anything in the world, healing by thinking about being healthy, write that down, because that makes your prayers more powerful. And then your prayers, you can pray for yourself, the world, someone else. Sometimes if I watch the news, I find myself praying for the people who are mentioned in the news. That is a prayer request, and it's a way to turn something that can be really negative into something positive, because we do impact the world that way. Our prayers go to our practitioners who pray on them all week, which really takes the consciousness of that and moves it into the world powerfully. another song from our wonderful Becca.
If you want more love, give love. If you want more joy, then give joy. If you want more peace, then give peace. If you want more, give. If you want more, then give. If you want more money, and give your money. If you want more time, give of your time. If you want more friends, be a good friend. And if you want more, give. If you want more, then give. And when you give, you receive. It's as simple as that. There's no effort, no struggle. That's a simple fact. If you want to see a change, be the change. If you want to have more truth, then tell your truth. If you want more gratitude, then give thanks. And if you want more, then give. If you want more, then give. If you want more money, give your money. If you want more time, give of your time. If you want more friends, then be a friend. If you want more, give. If you want more, give. If you want more, then give.
Thank you, Becca. Genesis is a community dedicated to love, inspiring harmony, and creating connections to empowered spiritual growth. And we love that you are here to share in that with us. This is an invitation to participate in circulation, to connect with abundance and generosity. Your participation makes all of this possible. All of this possible. We truly appreciate your support. So let's take a moment to craft our financial gift in this little envelope here. If you're on Facebook, please visit our website at genesiscsl.org, or you can text your tithe to 206-800-7595. If you feel called to, please put your prayer and your offering next to your heart while we say together our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. Gideon's going to come around and collect these little bundles of goodness. We're going to sing I give because I believe.
I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love, and love is given to me for joy. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy. I give because I believe in joy, and joy is given to me. How about some peace? I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace. I give because I believe in peace, and peace is given to me, and peace is given to me.
And so I want to give thanks for this process that has initiated the law of circulation, that as we give, so shall we receive, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing into our lives, into the life of this idea of Genesis, and out into our community, and so on. And so it is. Please stand and let us sing our closing song.
Love, I'm holding love in my heart. Peace, I'm knowing peace in my mind. Joy, I'm feeling joy in my life. We are one, and together we rise. Let's do it again. Love, I'm holding love in my heart. Peace, I'm knowing peace in my mind. Joy, I'm feeling joy in my life. We are one, and together we rise. Together we rise. Together we rise. Standing in beloved community. Together we rise. Together we rise. Through love, peace, and joy. Together we rise. Love, I'm holding love in my heart. Peace, I'm knowing peace in my mind. Joy, I'm feeling joy in my life. We are one, and together we rise. Together we rise. Together we rise. Standing in beloved community. Together we rise. Together we rise. Through love, peace, and joy. Together we rise. Through love, peace, and joy. Together we rise.
Together we rise. Go forth with joy.